Something crazy is going on with the Toronto Blue Jays. It is no secret that they've been pursuing Anthony Santander, Alex Bregman, and a plethora of free agents, but a new report and rumor has dropped revealing that the Jays are in on Roki Sasaki, and they are a lot more involved than a lot of Jays fans may have thought. We're going to break down that report and discuss what this means going forward for the Toronto Blue Jays. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to go over today, and obviously the Jays, we finally got some decent news that they avoided arbitration with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but amidst all of this, a report from Scotty Mitchell has come out, and rumors are starting to swirl surrounding Roki Sasaki, which is something that the Toronto Blue Jays hadn't really been linked to too much, but there is a mystery team involved, and all signs are pointing to the Jays being that mystery team. So there is a lot to go over today, and let's start with this. Now, this dropped obviously December 2nd. We covered it way back, but there's a reason I'm going to show you guys this first. So this is from Scotty Mitchell. This might percolate for a hot minute, given it'll be mid-January, which we're almost at now. But the amount I've heard all in when it comes to the Jays and Roki Sasaki is probably a good thing. They have an existing relationship via close people, and it's not crazy to think he may be intrigued by Toronto, the city. Now, this drop, fans were pretty excited about it. This was, of course, amidst the Juan Soto stuff, so that kind of took over most of the headlines and all these things. But this is a very interesting report saying that the Jays are all in on Roki Sasaki, at least back in December. And then some things have started to go down since then. So we see on January 7th from Jon Morosi, Roki Sasaki has met with at least one mystery team. Now, this was a couple of days ago, and then yesterday, Jays fans are starting to say, time to be mysterious, and obviously saying that the Jays are probably this mystery team, because yesterday night, following Vladdy's signing, or maybe a little bit before, either way, yesterday night, he said, hold on tight. Now, he quote tweeted a tweet from a month prior with him saying, of course, that the Jays are all in on Roki Sasaki, and he quote tweets it a month later saying, hold on tight. Now, this obviously, as it would and as it should, had Jays fans very intrigued, I'll say. Obviously, not really optimistic, because we're all pessimistic at this point, given Ross Atkins' tenure and what they've done so far, specifically last offseason and this offseason. But for him to come out and say, hold on tight, regarding Roki Sasaki. Now, Scotty Mitchell is a pretty reliable reporter. He always drops articles with insight, and he's pretty accurate with his stuff. So for one, back in December, for him to say that they've heard all in on Roki Sasaki, this was kind of his report saying the Jays are going to be pursuing Roki Sasaki, which in itself is a pretty big deal, even though we've heard a lot of Dodgers, we've heard a lot of other teams involved, but not necessarily the Toronto Blue Jays. And then for him to say, hold on tight. Now, we do have some more context to this as he responded to some of the tweets under it, but he said, hold on tight, and people are starting to think that the Jays are the mystery team that Jon Morosi was talking about just a few days ago. And the fact that the Jays are even considered in on Roki Sasaki by Scotty Mitchell is obviously a good thing. They've been involved in every, free agent. They've been interested and showed interest and been finalists for almost every free agent this offseason. But when it comes to Roki Sasaki, he is the top free agent pitcher on the market. Some would even have him above Corbin Burns. I think that's probably a little bit ridiculous. But regardless, at least the best starting pitcher that's available. And we'll get into his stats and things in a minute here. But following this hold on tight quote tweet, there's been a lot of other people looking at some of the other reports that have circulated. You can see this here. Honestly, don't expect any news on Roki Sasaki until the bonus pool rolls over on January 15th. While people think he's automatically a Dodger, there are far more teams in the hunt than you think. The Padres, Giants, Yankees, Red Sox, and Jays all have a legitimate shot. Now, this was also last month in December, but again, because the Juan Soto situation, a lot of people kind of overlooked these rumors and reports saying that the Jays are in on Roki Sasaki and have a legitimate shot. So this is another different outlet saying the Jays have a legitimate shot. You obviously have it from a credible TSN reporter saying hold on tight. Now, do I think the hold on tight means that they have an agreement or anything like that? No, it probably means that either A, they're the mystery team, or B, they're interested in, they've already had a meeting with him or something like that. But we do have some more context, and you can see this here. For what it's worth, Sasaki did ask former teammate James Dykstra for his thoughts on the Blue Jays organization. So that's another thing. This was back in December that, leans and trends towards the direction of the Jays actually being that mystery team that comes out. And if there would be a way to salvage the offseason for Ross Atkins, it would be getting a guy like Roki Sasaki, because he is absolutely unbelievable. And we also saw this. So someone responded to Scotty Mitchell's tweet saying, hold on tight, and saying, does this mean we're the mystery team? And Scotty Mitchell liked it. So let's see this here. He just liked my reply saying we are the mystery team. This offseason may be repaired. Want Vlad done, though. Now, they obviously got the Vlad arbitration done. They need to get him extended. But he liked the tweet saying that the Jays are the mystery team. So at this point, all signs are pointing to him the Jays being the mystery team for Roki Sasaki, unless Scotty Mitchell is trolling. But again, he's a TSN writer. He's gotten tons of things right in the past. He's very reliable. So what that means is the Jays are now actively pursuing Roki Sasaki. And if you're unfamiliar, he throws 100. He had a 2.7 or 2.35 ERA last year, 1.78 ERA the year before. He is, and as soon as he comes in to the MLB, he's going to be one of the best pitchers. And we won't have a decision for a couple of weeks, at least, an official decision. We'll probably start to hear some rumors. He's 22 years old. And keep in mind, with Roki Sasaki, the international bonus pool money is where this is going to come from. So the Jays have a little bit less than other teams in that tier 1. But Roki Sasaki is not going to choose his future, his next half decade, based off of a couple $100,000 or a couple $1 million, according to all reports here. So it is very interesting. The Jays are, according to Scotty Mitchell, the mystery team. They're telling Jays fans to hold on tight. There's been a lot of buzz around the Jays lately. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this, because things are going to continue to escalate surrounding these reports. And ultimately, this is very encouraging if you are a Jays fan. And looking at what they've done this offseason, there's an interesting chart that dropped, basically giving a highlight of the Jays' current situation regarding WAR and things like that. So I just want to touch on this because I know a lot of Jays fans are pessimistic about the team, and rightfully so. They still have some work to do. Now, they project Springer and Lucas to give you about 1.64, Varsho 2.3, and things like that. Again, Kirk 3.5. There's a lot of different interesting lineups here, but I want to use this more so just to look at where the Jays currently stand. Now, they're starting rotation: Gosse, Berríos, Bassett, Francis, Rodriguez, with Jake Blas factoring in. They currently have third base as Ernie Clement, Orelvis, and Addison Barger. You have some DH in there as well, Guerrero Jr. and Wagner. They don't have Will Wagner playing an everyday role, of course, because they acquired Andres Jimenez, who is projected to lead the team in WAR this year, and then, of course, the bullpen as well. So I just wanted to throw this out here, and we'll be using this a few times, or at least I will be on the videos, just to illustrate how interesting this team is right now. Now, if they go ahead and add Santander to left field, you move everybody else around, you maybe add an Alex Bregman, the team could be very good. And another thing I want to mention here is it's very interesting to me that, of course, we know that, they acquired Andres Jimenez, they acquired Bichette, and the big question mark so far has been they haven't made a big move. And like I just mentioned, if you add a Santander or a Bregman in, then obviously they're projecting around a 2 WAR for Loperfido, David Schneider, and Nathan Lucas. If you add Santander, and that gives you a 3 WAR, and then you can kind of displace Loperfido around. I think, of course, if you have Dalton Varsho there, the team itself, I'm curious to see what you all think about. I like the way it's looking if they can make a couple more additions. I know a lot of fans out there are really low on the team. They, of course, have Yariel Rodriguez as a starter as well as a reliever, but I think ultimately the team is going to be better than some fans think if they can go out and make one of these big splashes. They need a Santander. They need, I'm not as high on Alex Bregman, but they need a guy, a thumper in the lineup who can hit for a lot of power. And then if you do that, the rest will fall into place. And obviously we talked about Roki Sasaki today. He would help a ton. If you can go out and get Roki Sasaki on the cheaper side, and then you go out and you give Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Well, you give Vladimir Guerrero Jr. some help in a guy like Santander, things would look very up for this team. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on that in the comments. It's going to be a very interesting next few days, next few weeks as the Jays pursue multiple free agents. They are going to get somebody. Hopefully, it's what Jays fans want. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. Thank you guys for watching.